After GM's debacle with meager EV sales during the past few years, Mary Barra decided that enough was enough. Instead of selling overpriced niche vehicles that serve little to no purpose to regular people, GM will return to its roots by offering a barrage of honest-to-God internal combustion-powered vehicles. This means that we're about to see the return of some long-defunct models as well as the appearance of all new ones. So buckle up and get ready for a true revolution of the American auto industry as GM CEO announces 6 new models for 2025 and wows everybody. Number 6. GMC Terra. After almost 4 years of having no answer to Ford's breadwinner, the little Ford Maverick, GM has finally decided that enough is enough. As of 2025, we can now expect to see GM's rendition of a compact pickup truck in the form of the long-forgotten namesake, the GMC Terra. This compact truck will be a direct rival to the Ford Maverick in every way possible. First, it'll share its platform with the GMC Terrain, which will also be redesigned for the 2025 model year. This means that we're about to see a wide array of powertrains at its disposal, ranging from a 1.5-liter Turbo 4 all the way to the 2.0 Ecotec Turbo 4 engine, which is best known for its application in the now discontinued Chevy Camaro. This means that we'll have a power output range ranging from 150 horsepower up to 250 horsepower, maybe even more. Now, if that wasn't enough, the fact that we'll also most likely be getting a plug-in hybrid should interest you, especially since the Maverick still doesn't have a PHEV version available. This version of the Terra will share its powertrain with the, at the moment, Chinese-exclusive Chevrolet Equinox, which means that it'll use a 177 horsepower 1.5-liter Turbo 4 engine mated to an electric drivetrain that will, when combined, push out a total of 250 horsepower, slightly less than the Equinox. In terms of practicality, the Terra will be very similar to the Maverick. It'll offer a spacious cabin combined with a 4.5-foot bed, which is a good thing to hear. Now, truth be told, the Terra will be a more upmarket truck compared to the Maverick, with a better interior, ride quality, design, and logically a higher price. If that is a concern, then worry not, because the next entry on our list will be just for you. Number 5. Chevrolet Avalanche. After more than 10 years since it was last offered, the Chevy Avalanche will finally return. However, unlike its predecessor, which was a Suburban with its back cut off, this new model will be a much more sensual vehicle. In its essence, the Chevrolet Avalanche will share its platform and most of its stuff with the aforementioned GMC Terra. However, unlike it, the Avalanche will sacrifice the Terra's luxury feeling in favor of a much lower price. As a result, the Avalanche will be Chevrolet and GM's true competitor to the Maverick. Most importantly, since it will also offer the 1.5-liter engine without a hybrid powertrain, the Avalanche is expected to have a noticeably lower entry price than the Maverick. Overall, we expect it to cost somewhere between $20,000 and $22,000 at the lowest, which isn't half bad. However, just like the Maverick and the Terra, the Avalanche will come only as a crew cab, which means that those of us who value practicality and bed size will once again be denied of such a truck in the compact pickup truck segment. Or will we? Number 4. GMC Cyclone. You see, Mary Barra is far from stupid. She saw the window of opportunity in the fact that the Maverick offers no extended cab or single cab options, which is why she put an imperative on exploiting this situation in GM's favor. As a result, we'll see the appearances of one of GM's fan-favorite pickups, the GMC Cyclone. However, unlike the old version, which was adored for its mindless performance and youthful character, this new version will be a much more sensible option. It will, as you might imagine, be offered with either a single cab layout or an extended cab, most probably both. As a result, it'll take away quite a bit of Maverick sales, as it'll be a much more interesting choice for tradesmen, craftsmen, and people who need a practical yet compact vehicle more than anything else. Now, with that in mind, you shouldn't write off the performance version of the Cyclone, as GM is expected to offer a limited-run performance version that will be a true callback to the original Cyclone. This vehicle is expected to house the same 2.7-liter Turbo 4 as the GMC Canyon, pushing upwards of 300 horsepower. But pay close attention, as this will be a limited run and is most likely to sell out very quickly. Number 3. Chevrolet Volt. The demise of the venerable Chevrolet Bolt was GM's sign that EVs are not the future. The Bolt had everything: a low price tag, good practicality, acceptable range, and was overall a winning formula. And yet, it didn't sell nearly as well as GM expected it. As a result, GM decided to discontinue the Bolt completely last year, with no successor being announced. Well, its successor is here, and interestingly enough, it'll go back in time. The upcoming Chevrolet Volt will not be an EV. Instead, GM has decided to go to the way of a plug-in hybrid. The Volt will be designed as a no-thrills compact car that is aimed mainly at middle-class families. It'll have a low price tag, and it will most likely share its platform and most of its components with the Buick Envista and Chevrolet Trax. However, it'll have more of a lifted sedan look of the Envista instead of the full-on crossover look of the Trax. As a result, it'll be more comfortable and more maneuverable than its crossover brother, while also maintaining solid practicality due to its relatively good ground clearance. Now, when it comes down to the price, the Volt will be more expensive than both of the aforementioned vehicles. However, that's because it'll be offered as a PHEV exclusively. Still, you shouldn't expect the entry price to be any higher than $30,000, which is honestly incredible, as you'll be getting an extremely frugal vehicle that's also enormously practical. The best of both worlds. Number 2. GMC Hummer. Everyone was disappointed when the Hummer EV was revealed to the public a couple of years back. Seriously, who was this vehicle aimed at? Hummer buyers are loud, hairy-chested guys who don't care about gas mileage, innovation, or anything else besides the fact that their car is equally as loud and ostentatious as their personality. Other than the powertrain, though, the Hummer EV was generally well received, and everybody was pointing out that it would be a much more successful vehicle if it were conventionally powered. Thankfully, though, Mary Barra has learned the mistake of her ways, and as of 2025, we could expect the Hummer to come with a proper internal combustion engine under its hood. The combustion-powered version of the Hummer is expected to share its platform with the Chevrolet Silverado. First of all, it'll come with 3 different powertrains. The weakest of the bunch will be the 2.7-liter inline-4 that we've already mentioned, and it'll push upwards of 300 horsepower. Additionally, most Hummers will come equipped with a 5.3-liter V8 engine, which will push out some odd 370 horsepower, making it easily the engine that most Americans will fall in love with. However, the piece de resistance will undoubtedly be the 6.2-liter V8 with upwards of 420 horsepower, which will be reserved for the top-spec models. There's also mention of the 3-liter Duramax diesel appearing, however, that is yet to be confirmed as the market for such an engine seems small. Number 1. Chevrolet Camaro. Thank God. Honestly, when GM announced the demise of the Chevrolet Camaro, we all wept. This symbol of Americana, this piece of history, had no right to be discontinued. Ever. Thankfully, though, just like it happened in the early 2000s, GM realized how wrong they were for discontinuing one of America's dearest sweethearts. As a result, we're about to see the Camaro return in 2025 as an all-new model. And don't worry, it won't be a crossover. It'll be a true successor to the now discontinued Camaro. However, this revelation is bittersweet, as the Camaro will now mostly be powered by non-V8 engines. The base model will be powered by a 2-liter Turbo 4 engine that's found in the Cadillac CT4 and CT5, albeit with a little more oomph, having around 270 horsepower. Most of the range, however, will be powered by the 3.6-liter twin-turbo V6 taken from the CT4V Blackwing, pushing around 500 horsepower, more or less matching the 5.0 V8 in the old Camaro and the current Gen Ford Mustang. However, the Camaro ZL1 will thankfully come with a V8, and what a V8 it'll be. We're talking about the incredible 5.5-liter flat-plane V8 borrowed from the incredible Corvette Z06, meaning that it'll push out over 670 horsepower. The best thing about this is the fact that this engine is naturally aspirated, meaning that you'll get the true muscle car experience with it. All in all, despite GM's recent misdoings, the company seems to be getting back on track very healthily, and that's what matters, as we couldn't bear to see such a legacy slowly wither away. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.